It's going to be a disaster.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. And let me just...
Oh, you put that picture as the thing?
Yeah. Okay, and let me just verify that. Alright, this'll work. This will work. Although I could extend it out a little more to hide Tuturu.
Oh, let me full screen it first. Go.
Wait, why don't I see anything in Tuturu right now? Or Tuturu. Refresh. Am I gonna... Okay, there we go. Alright, let me just zoom it in a little more. Just by panning it out. Good enough.
Okay, let's
Alright,
change
let's move.
compass.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay.
See if
Alright, who's it gonna be?
It's gonna be Jonesy, bro.
I hope.
If it's actually Jonesy, though, that would be, something else.
When do you think it'll release? Do you think they'll be like...
They'll probably hit it with, like, the... Oh, but that's a good choice. That would be a good question.
I think they'll just wait till February, because I think it would have leaked already if it was...
Today.
Yeah.
Let me move my mic real quick. Just hopefully I don't accidentally unplug it. Okay. Oh boy.
I hope they have me costume of the PogChamp guy.
Same. Alright, here, over back. I'll speedrun.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. It is Steven from Minecraft.
Oh man. What would I miss? Nothing? Got it.
They announced everyone.
Oh my god, I've always wanted everyone!
Yeah, he's here.
Damn. That's who that character was that went out of that little cloak thingy.
Cloak thingy, huh?
Yeah, in the first reveal trailer.
Oh.
When he like randomly appeared out of nowhere. And people said it was Snake.
One minute.
Mr. Sakurai presents.
It's gonna be Sora.
I mean, Wouldn't that be under like Square Enix though?
Yeah.
So and they said Fighter Pass was gonna be like non first
They didn't
party.
say
and
anything.
I thought they did though.
They said we've got a lot of surprises, and
no.
we want to bring worlds into the Smash Bros. Universe. That's about it.
Oh!
Here we go.
Oh god.
Everyone,
Oh, it's echoing
I'm
because I have
director
another
of
window
Super Smash
open.
Bros.
Okay.
Ultimate from Sora Limited. We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter.
Surprised
Actually,
it didn't
hardly
immediately go
anyone
on
knows
the
what we'll be
trailer.
announcing today,
Yeah.
even among Nintendo staff worldwide. The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy, which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast. So, it won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time.
Alright, I thought so.
I think even many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, wow, really?
Maybe a Sony character?
So, let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information.
Alright, here
However,
we go.
even if you say, that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings.
Uh-oh.
We've prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
Oh!
Oh my
Oh
god.
god! Oh god! Oh god!
Who's it gonna be?
That's not Minecraft.
What is this?
No.
Oh.
No.
No, they're
No.
not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it.
The time has finally come
Please tell me.
to unleash the
They're not
forbidden
gonna do it.
spell of Zaharas upon our enemies.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
They're not gonna do this. They're not gonna do it.
I did not wait for this. Please don't be this.
What were you thinking?
Please.
Charging right into an enemy's trap.
They're not
As
doing
you and
this.
I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds
Please. Oh.
will cease to be.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
Are you prepared to die?
Ooh, so secret.
I thought as much.
He
I
talked
also
too
do
high
not
for it
wish
to
to
be
die.
just this.
And yet, there is no other choice.
No.
You must join.
No! No!
Hey, hold up.
Join Smash Brothers
No!
already. What in the world are you waiting for?
Okay.
No!
I guess this is it.
No!
So joining Smash.
I got fire gift is coming to No! No! Why?
They're talking like it would be such a secret. Ugh.
No! Oh
You really
my
gave us a fire
So
god!
you return. And
Wait, no,
so
this isn't
unexpected.
it.
I see. Too many swordsmen, are there?
Oh,
And you,
Okay.
you wield the sword as well? What will you do? Huh. So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
and they were like, haha, look, there's some alts, and like, whoa, cool!
How is this?
No, I lied.
Okay, they give them new weapons. Wow, just what every Fire Emblem character was saying. Oh my god, it'd be so different if they had different weapons.
Oh,
It's Link!
The hero's relics.
Holy hell, what a way to end
Superior
the
reach.
DLC.
No! It's the first party! No!
Speed of fail not. Along Even with the sword of the creator,
Fogma!
matches a direction.
Oh my god.
I'm not really.
Your will and mine be now
It's always disappointing, the last character.
to you. Both sides of time are revealed. Through Smash, show the world.
Why did it have to be a Fire Emblem character?
Out of all the disappointing characters, Fire Emblem is. It's so weird that they chose Fire Emblem again.
Oh my god!
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase individually.
Kill me now.
In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or
Oh
Three
my
Houses,
God.
I'll explain a few things, so don't worry. First off, what is Fire Emblem?
Oh.
It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem.
We got
But when
another
writing
Fire
it,
Emblem
if you don't
character, I
write
can't
Fire
believe it.
Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game. Or in other
Why
words,
don't
a
you-
game in which you advance units across a grid and battle.
Why didn't you end it on one of the other characters?
When we
This
talk
is a
about tactical
character
games
you could have
in the era,
introduced
there were lots
outside of the
battles
fighter
between
pass.
Tanks, aircrafts, and so
It
on.
is.
But
very
Fire
nice.
Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games. Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo titles. Characters could permanently die. That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again. Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you. But a lot of games
What?
now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios.
Oh my god. I am
Several characters also appear in the
disappointed beyond belief.
that the Seven can use a
I don't know,
counter
part of me
attack.
feels in
their
denial. I feel
downside.
like we're gonna get another character, but
There's actually a reason.
So the posters in the background are
Incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee. I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's team.
I
They
would
attack
have
and you
loved
counter.
Dante over this,
Next
despite the
comes
fact I
your
don't know who the hell he is.
And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Can't believe we
17
got Marth
games.
and Lucina.
People who aren't Japanese in
Fire
particular
Emblem
might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many? Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge. I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝、紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、烈火の剣、聖魔の宝石、草原の奇跡、暁の女
Oh, he flipped us off!
新眼黒竜、新聞社、聖イフ、ヒーロー、エコーズ、風化雪
There you go,
find it funny
17.
like how.
Oh no, that's what the.
Yeah, there it goes.
変な
I
風
find it
が
funny
形
how
So you
there's
saw
so
how I was
many
counting
were
in a
Smash
weird way,
accounts
right?
and they were all
I was
getting
counting
their
in
hopes
binary.
up for this character, and it turns out to be a
This is
first party
0.
character.
Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Damn.
And then you get 16.
それに
Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome,
That's-
isn't it?
That's advanced finger counting, bro. What the
You
hell?
can actually count up to 31 on one hand.
それで
And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
畳の数を数えるのに目の数を数える
If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three Houses? In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, try to kill you.
Bro, spoilers.
To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release.
内容を見てきましたこれは
I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example,
やっぱり
because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it or we'd have never made it
That's
in time.
baffling. Damn.
For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
設定することはできないなとか初めて分かったりするんです今回も同じような
I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really
I think it
hard
was a
to put a feel
mistake to
for
keep
it.
it as secret as they say they
And
did.
of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference.
何しろ攻略サイトなんかももちろんありませんしね
They kept this top secret.
The game has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different.
異なるんですねなので
Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story.
今回は
I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand.
よろしくお願いします
Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version.
また、いつも
As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes.
では
Here I go.
That's really it.
So, this is our new fighter, Byleth.
男の方がベレト女の方がベレス
Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them.
Ew.
Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks
What a
range.
joke.
But actually, you could say that they're distance demon.
スティックを入れる方向によって
The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that.
理由があります
First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for
I hate
flurry
their
attacks
outfits.
and tilt
It's
attacks,
like that
such as down
jacket
tilt
thing
attacks,
going
where
on.
it takes the form of a
Yeah,
whip.
but
It's so weird.
下は蛇腹剣
That their jacket thing where it's like
They
they're not
also use
wearing
the
it.
sword
It's
for
so
dash
ugly.
attacks and
I
other
always hated it.
Yeah.
For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air.
Damn, bro, I didn't know Richter's
Well, they're
up
up
tilt
there.
could get any better.
They'll wave the whip sword overhead.
Can't wait for
The
the,
hit detection for this
fucking
attack lasts
wave
for a
of people
relatively
who
long
love
time.
Fire Emblem, you know, all of a
The up
sudden,
special move is
you know.
really something. The sword extends
Of all the
like this,
games for it to
allowing
be
you to do
Fire
things
Emblem.
like this. It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition, you can do awful things like this.
まあとはいえ
That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage.
上の方に飛ばすんですねまあそれを超えたら
Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now, for the sideways inputs.
Another
This is
grab.
air bar, the same name as the weapon.
What happened
tilted
to
with
wanting
double
new worlds in Smash?
shield. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so.
I think you've introduced this world into Smash like
Marth's
quite
air keeps
enough.
opponents in
There's
check
like
too, right?
so much of it.
こんな感じで牽制をすることありますよね。
If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here. Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a
Let's see
downward
what
tilt.
Twitter's going on about.
By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weaker, so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage, and it won't launch opponents far.
This is so sad.
That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward, or downward in this case. Next, the side special move. Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit. Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this. But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful. Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land. Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called a Mir. It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a
Like,
devastating
I would have been fine with this
It's a
character
bold move,
existing
similar to the Falcon
if it
Punch.
was out of
What
the
makes it
fighter
different.
pass.
It really shouldn't
When
have
readying the
been part of
move,
the
there's a
Fighter
super armor effect, which allows you to withstand an attack. Just so you know, if you execute a
Like,
Falcon
even if this is like
about
the
same
character
time,
that came after Fighter Pass, like the first character
it plays out like
that
this.
is new, that isn't involved in
bit
Fighter
slower
Pass,
than
I would have been
Falcon
fine
Punch.
with that. I would have been like,
Super
ew,
armor
Fire
effect.
Emblem,
You
but
have the advantage.
I would have been like, what? This is the last character?
Unless you get grabs.
Especially because
Another notable
I
aspect
don't
is
know
that
what
it
they're
lets
gonna
you
do
pass
with
through
the
platforms.
non-Fighter Pass characters, but
While you're charging up,
something
you
tells
can
me
breeze
that they're
past platforms
probably
like
not
this
gonna
to
have
reach a lower
stages
area.
and everything, and stages and
They won't
music
let you
and stuff,
jump,
and we
but you
already
can
have
use it as a
a bunch of
surprise
Fire
attack.
Emblem stages and a bunch of Fire Emblem music, and
Also, you can turn around
now
during the move.
whatever character comes in next,
The
they're not
swing
gonna have
takes a
any of
while.
that.
So if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a group of opponents. Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little. It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them. By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter. Next, we have the neutral moves. The bow you use is called Failmoth, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around. It's also easy to create certain combos with it.
I'm gonna see what Twitter says on my phone.
And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button. You can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light. You can perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire. But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible. Once you've entered the stand, you won't be able to do anything. Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version. As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sophis.
I mean, it's not like every Fire Emblem fighter, but it's a Fire Emblem fighter. And I would have loved to not be in the fighter pass because we could have gotten someone else.
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male,
don't think
while
they're
the
gonna have
even-numbered
stages
ones
and
are female.
music for the other characters.
However, the third, fourth, and
if they
fifth
do, it'll be
colors
like
are, as
one
you
or
can
two
see,
tracks
reminiscent
without a
of
stage, and then we'll have like Megalovania and
Those of
Nintendogs
you who played
too.
the original game will of
Yeah.
course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
I haven't been paying attention at all.
I haven't really either.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg Mach Monastery. This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral all in one stage. It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four. Let me
Okay, I'm
introduce
back.
each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future king. He had quite the difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one. There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see. If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder where people will buy their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper.
Damn, bro, he
You
looking
often pass through
fresh.
this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop, you'll come crashing back down. Be broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building. And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire, and as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals.
That would be the
You'll
only
notice
thing
there
that
are
saves
prominent
this.
chandeliers above the stage. It's
I
possible
don't
to
know.
knock
That's
them
all I
down.
look for in these things, anyways.
However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table. Like so. Just like the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this long area. It's very wide indeed.
I mean, the stage looks nice. I can say that.
It's similar
but
to the
it
bridge of
does
Elden
look
Stage.
like another Fire
The
Emblem
guests are from the
stage,
Golden
but just
Tier.
more
Claude,
HD and.
Hilda, and Lawrence.
The stage doesn't look
They
like it
belong
has
to the
anything.
Leicester Alliance.
Just like, I mean, I guess it looks good, but
Doesn't have
there's
anything
nothing
to offer.
to this stage.
Because it's an
Yeah,
alliance
it's
of
just
many
walk
noble
ups
families,
and
you could
I
say
guess
that
it-
they have a wide assortment of members.
Freestand.
And Claude is
But it
the
does look
sharpest
visually
one.
appealing, I can give it that.
Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the
don't
Holy
like how
War,
the
the
characters
fourth
look. They
title
look
of the
ugly.
Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game
Like
and are
the
creating
shading on
40
them,
characters for
Yeah.
each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen. You could also say it's a place where the Fail Knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly.
I didn't even pay attention to know what this bow can do.
The last area is the
the
cathedral,
charge of like Robins, I guess.
only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn.
Wow,
She
now I
seems to be
know
under
what the
protection of
spoiler
King
is.
Rhea, who you can see
OMG.
fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses.
What, they kill the bond?
All three have character quirks
What?
related to their true identities.
I don't know. Just
I feel that
guessing.
Flame might be saying,
They're
"Shush,
like, oh no, they have
leave
green
me."
hair. But these people also have green
This is a
hair.
simple area
And
of
they're
research. All
at
it
the
has are these
cathedral.
platforms.
Which probably means there's some
Being
form
the
of
last
like
area,
royal
it may be
family. Like,
place
oh my
some
god, I
small
can't
battle
believe it.
will be
I'm part of the royal blood?
It'll cycle through each
I
location in
didn't,
about two
I
and a
didn't
half
know
minutes.
anyone else had green hair. I don't know. I haven't paid attention.
One of the alts had green hair and they're like, we won't spoil it.
Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in
Aw.
Squad Strike with the
Oh my
DLC
God.
pitted against Fire
Oh,
Emblem
this is
protagonists
classic mode.
throughout
That,
the ages.
why would you do
That'll
this?
give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the middle of something. No.
And
I'm just gonna do
Hero!
it. Just saturate playing video.
Yeah, that is true.
Gee, we really
Oh
made
wait,
a
he's
lot, huh?
making them all suicide
Banjo!
themselves.
Why?
By now, I think
I
you
don't
know
know.
what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the professor here. But as
Oh.
expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my
Okay,
hands
we'll
on.
be back.
It's not going to land that easily. Uh-oh, this is bad. Bennigan's. I better keep my distance. I'll use this chance to attack. Got him. That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here.
So down be a counter? Who knows?
Lots of explosives. Ouch. perfect shield at that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected. Good, there's Mom. You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not.
Okay, we're
I
back.
feel like the enemy might get this.
Damn, Sackboy
See?
really
They got
clapping out here.
Yeah, but the
But I mustn't
CPUs
give
look
up.
like they're easy.
Damn,
Stop
man.
running out.
There's another smash ball. Yes, got it.
Damn, bro, what a counter.
Now,
Oh my god.
what are you charging up for?
What's a lane final smash?
There's still more. Whack.
Dude, the translator had a voice crack.
But it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him. I was trying to fight using Violet's abilities alone,
Very
but
hard.
what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
Oh boy, songs, my fave.
Now, about the additional music. Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages.
Thanks, guys. You took this away.
There are
from
already a
another
lot of Fire
character.
Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well.
I feel robbed.
We're also adding in a new spirit board. It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters.
Okay, well, prediction for
Sophist
me
is Legend
costumes?
class.
Um,
Also, there's a new classic mode,
Please-
a heroic
please
legacy,
don't do this
which is
to
designed
Minecraft,
let you enjoy
Steve.
classic Fire Emblem
don't
stages
put him as a
throughout the
me
series'
costume,
history.
please. That's
The
the
final battle
only
is against
thing I
Master
want,
Hand and Crazy Hand.
other
But
than
you'll
him
find
in
that
the
something
game.
pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
If they make my
Now for the Mii
man's
Fighter costumes.
my man
Please take a look.
Steve.
Alright, let's see. Who are they?
Oh God.
Round 5. Assassin's Creed? Wow. Oh wait.
Oh yeah.
Rabbit. No, the deconfirmed!
No, not the rabbits. Mega Man
More Mega Man?
egg. Mega Man.
More Mega Man. Damn.
This is more interesting than the fighter we just looked at. Oh,
Oh!
Cuphead.
That's cool. Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
That's also really cool just because of the fact that it makes sense that the gun is their finger pointing. Although this is like mod material. Oh, wait, he comes with a song!
Cuphead?
Yeah, he comes with probably
okay. I guess they're doing like indies now.
yeah. I forgot what that song was called. There's something with flowers in its name or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, I don't like that song.
はい、
This time, we're releasing
Oh, wait.
the Cuphead
That
costume.
one.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was the boss with
And
the
for those
flower
of you
guy,
who
which
purchased the
is a
Cuphead
really
costume,
shitty song.
an additional song will
but
be
this
added.
one's fun, I guess.
It's called Floral Fury, and it's
Yeah,
the
there
theme
you
that
go.
plays when fighting Cagney Carnation. I hope you enjoy these as well. After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it.
And then there's, oh hell yeah.
And now, onto the amiibo. The
Why
color
does
palette for
Samus-
Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it?
No.
Dark Samus and Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th.
What the hell happened to Dark Samus, bro?
はい、そして今回
And now,
Oh
with
my
the addition of
god.
Violet, the cast is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Violet.
Can't believe it.
What's that?
From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play. As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
Oh. This the PogChamp moment?
Fighter Pass 2. It was... Oh, Pog!
We in for...
Oh, Pog! Pog!
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Looks like there'll be one more fighter than last time.
It's a lot of
For this
fighter
reason,
passes.
we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date
Oh,
shown.
charge for
Please
released
keep
by
an eye
December
out.
31st,
And
2021.
now
Damn,
that
that's
it's
a long
official, we
time.
intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it.
I'll
Furthermore,
buy
new
it,
additions
but
have already
when I
been
get my
decided.
money, I guess.
Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider. But I still hope you'll look forward to it. We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have.
Not Minecraft Steve, don't do it. Oh, okay.
It's okay, I guess.
It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be
Okay,
acquired
so I
as
guess
part
it will
of
have
Fighters
stages
Pass
and
Volume
stuff.
2.
So that's good.
Yeah. Lastly.
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest-selling fighting game in the world. Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world.
Oh no, don't ask the Sakurai!
Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really
We really
want to get
versed
into the
in
weeds.
Street Fighter
Plus,
now.
there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows?
Okay.
But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1. Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game. I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely.
A celebration of Fire Emblem.
Also,
Oh.
I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters.
非常に感慨深いものを覚えています。第一シーズンの終わり
The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there will be more DLC, which means no breaks for me. I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us.
それでは以上です
That's it. Thank you.
Can we come up with 11 more characters? Oh, what was it, 6? Yeah.
6.
Yeah. You know, now that everyone's got their Twitter requests and everyone's gonna get their Twitter moments, you're gonna see them Genos and Doom guys.
I mean, Master Chief is gonna come into the game now, bro.
Yeah, Master Chef.
Yeah, Master Chef. Let's go. It's raw.
Oh, it's a
thing you'd like. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess I'll just kill the stream now and